drink too much of it, it's likely to kill you.
Oh, no shit.
Nice.
Hi, everybody. We're live.
Ah.
Kind of. I mean, we're live,
So
but
do you have my intro soundbite
no,
program
not
now or
yet.
no?
No,
God damn it.
that's one of the things that's stuck in limbo. Actually, it
I
may
can
not.
send it to
Hold
you
on.
through.
It may
Do I
not be
have it?
stuck
Where
in
do I have
limbo.
it?
Hold on a minute. Hang on. Hang on. It may not be stuck in limbo because
Avenger Pretenders intro. I have it right here if I can send it to you through Skype or through Facebook if you
nope.
would like.
I think I got it. Hold on a minute here. This is what on number 3, right? The computer's number 3. I think it's number 3. Well, let's test it.
Welcome once again to Avenger Pretenders. You have the geek, Sally,
Yeah.
and the redneck.
Sweet. I do have it, and it is channel 3. Yay!
And I heard it.
Yay! Well, yeah, because it's coming from the other computer. That's the goal. But eventually, I've been working on video, so we've got video going. All right, let's see. So who do we got? We got people joining us already here.
We currently have Nakaya and Carol.
Hi, ladies. We also have Big Tank. Saw him before.
Yes, he was chanting or commenting through Discord.
Yeah.
A fellow at once asked me what a hoedown was, and I told him it's like a shindig, but more like a hootenanny. I could tell he was still confused because his face went all cattywampus. Nakaya says, "On my phone and so not happy about it."
Who?
Why can't you get it on your computer or on your TV, Kaya?
Yeah, or your tablet. What's going on? Big Tank testes. We are having a blue light special in the jockstrap department.
They never made the right size for me, so
Nice.
they were all too big. Ba-dum-bum.
Ba-dum-bum. They were just there. All right.
Big Tank says a hold down is when I throw your mom and sister down on the floor.
That's a wow.
And Tank, that's a hoedown. H-O-E, not hole. H-O-L-E. Oh, he just corrected.
Well, he did correct himself, so yay.
Damn autocorrect.
All right, let's get started, shall we?
The guy says tablet is updating. Haven't had my TV since I moved back. And then right after that, she says tablet done updating. Be right back.
Yay! Well, we're gonna start. So let's get to it.
We're gonna review for you the.
Might help if I actually started it from the beginning, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know.
Welcome once again to Avenger Pretenders. You have the geek, Sally, and the redneck, JT. We're going to review for you the latest coming out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, why, thank you, JT. I love it.
Sure.
I just got to put the music bed under it and be good.
Yes.
But I can tell you that is one of the sound bites that is stuck in limbo right now. But it is what it is. Welcome to Avenger Pretenders. This is version 4.4.
4. Yes.
4.4. We did version 4.123 last week.
Well,
and
1.2.3.
Yeah. 4.1.2.3. Yeah. It's there. It's there. But the good thing is we're on 4.4 of Hawkeye. So yay, episode 4 of Hawkeye. If you haven't watched it yet, spoilers.
Yeah, Nakaya just said, I am so behind.
Yeah. So is JT up until about 20 minutes before the show.
Well, I will say this, Nakaya. Even with what we talk about, you will still enjoy
Yes.
every episode.
Absolutely.
It just gives you, you'll find yourself looking at other things instead of what you normally look at because what you normally look at's already been talked about.
Yes. Yes. So it's going to be very, very interesting to say the least. And Big Tank, we'll get into that. We will get into that. So, why is things going off on my phone? Anyway. So, Hawkeye.
You got the first episode done.
Yeah. Hawkeye. We last left off with Hawkeye. Well, he had a sword to his throat. He has a sword to his throat. Jack Duquesne, also known as the Swordsman, who we'll see eventually come out.
And actually, he refers to him for the first time as the Swordsman in this episode, if I caught it right.
He does.
I did catch it. Yay!
Yes, he does. Which clearly JT paid attention because, yay, good job, well, JT.
To be fair, I paid attention because I had to. Because I watched it while we've been having dinner tonight.
All right, I can see that.
Yeah, it's like I told you before the show, and as most of the group knows, that's a Saturday or Sunday thing for me and Kay.
Yes, it is.
And we weren't able to do it Saturday night, and Sunday night sure as hell wasn't going to do it because I'm sorry, but the Packers were playing the Bears.
Bears.
On Sunday Night Football. So, yeah, let's see. Hawkeye, which I can watch tomorrow, or Bears-Packers, which is live. Nah, yeah, okay. Not really a fight.
Right.
Hey, I'm just being honest,
It's true. It's true. It is true. You are being honest, and that's quite all right. But we are going to keep that away at the moment because, well, a whole episode. Now, mind you, before, in the first episode, Hawkeye, so Clint and Kate, we'll use first. We're on first name basis now, folks.
Basis?
Yes, basis.
Basis.
Cool. Clint and Kate are using Eleanor Bishop's computer to basically hack into Bishop's security and find out what's going on. And of course, the entire time, they're monitoring her computer. We know they're monitoring her computer. She gets bumped out.
Well, they monitor everybody's computer.
Right. They're monitoring everything.
That's a company-wide thing,
And
Big Tank says, you mean CB1?
CB1. CB1. Absolutely.
He shut that down real freaking quick.
Real quick.
I mean, insta-freaking-taneously.
He's like, no one calls me that. No.
Yeah. That was a very fun part of the conversation, but just a little bit before we get to that, continue there, big guy.
So when Eleanor catches them, she also catches Jack with the sword to Hawkeye's throat, and wondering why she's got an Avenger in her suite.
Right. Well, and the thing you didn't hear at the end of episode 3 was the words, "Don't move." Mm-hmm. And that was Jack.
Yep.
As he held Ronan's sword.
Yes.
His collapsible sword.
Yes.
To
Clint's
awesome. Neck.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Yes, it was.
So they do the whole awkward sit down at the dinner table type thing. They don't have any food. There was no food on the table.
Yeah, it was not a meal. It was not for a meal in any way, shape, or form.
It kind of reminded me of remember when you were a kid and you did bad on your report card, and the report card was waiting on the table. And your parents were sitting there waiting for you to come in from school. And you're like, crap. That's what that was.
That's when you purposely get yourself put in detention,
Yeah.
but without realizing the fact that, oh crap, I just put myself into detention. Problem being, now I can't ride the bus home, which means parents have to come pick me up, which means I'm going to get it all the way from school
Yeah.
home.
And
So,
and that's one of the things where, you know, it was just one of those awkward sit down at the dinner table type thing.
well,
And
I loved the back and forth between Clint
yes.
and Kate. I mean, because for everything she said, it was the exact opposite.
Oh yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
As Clint's reply, and it wasn't a think about it for a millisecond kind of thing or anything. I mean,
No,
it
it
was
wasn't.
instantaneous.
It was
She
very,
said
very
this,
quick.
and he automatically, no, nobody ever called me that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a great back and forth kind
Big
of thing.
Tank says it was worse when you got home after school sports. Yeah, because you weren't there to get the mail.
Hmm. Well, I was never that lucky because mail came during the day. So
Yeah. For a
yeah,
lot of people, comes in the morning.
yeah,
So while they're sitting around the table, Clint is trying to do the cover angle of Kate is working with him. They're not partners, but working
she's
with him.
assisting him.
Yeah, to solve whatever's going on, and Eleanor's mother is like, "Let me get this straight. You are working with him on an Avenger level threat,"
Right.
and they both go yes and no. Yes, no, yes, no.
Hmm.
Uh, so
We're partners. No, we're not.
no, we're not partners. We're
We're
acquaintances.
teammates. No, we're not.
We're not. No. All right,
We're
CB1.
co-hosts. We're co-hosts. No, we're not.
I run this shit. No, you don't. Okay. So Kate is trying to tell Eleanor about Jack's secret, and she's just not having it. She's not doing whatever she needs to do to listen to her own daughter. And instead, they decide that they're going to have a party for the holidays and that they need to get ready and so on and so forth.
It's the company party,
Yes.
and I had to laugh at how she stated this because it was a company party for what was it, Brooks Security or whatever the
Bishop.
company name is,
Yep, Bishop Security.
Bishop Security. Okay, and she's like, yes, it's a non-denominational. Everybody get together basically, and drink and do karaoke and get drunk kind of thing,
Yeah.
which is right down your alley.
Which yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah.
that's what you want in a holiday party, isn't it?
Mm. Now, Big Tank makes an interesting statement here.
Mm.
He says, I say Eleanor is in on all of it.
Ooh.
The thought has popped in my head because she's acting too clueless.
Yeah.
At points, she's just acting a little bit too clueless. So Tank, I can see it
Yeah.
possibly going that way. I can see it
Yeah.
possibly going that way. It is, in my opinion, it's a possibility.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I could see it only because of the comics. So if we
Why do you say
go,
that?
well, if we go backward into the comics,
Hmm.
she is, um, she actually is her own daughter's enemy and nemesis, Madame Mask.
Okay.
And Big Tank is probably going, no, oh yeah, like all of a sudden I just sparked like an explosion in his brain,
Hmm.
and
So it's more of a possibility than either one of us really thought it could be.
yeah, will it
Okay.
be?
Well, it depends. Do they want to go that way or not? I mean, that's the question. Does Marvel want to go that far as to bring that character in at this point, or are
Not
they
yet.
just downplaying it
Not
for
yet.
now? So they're not going to do anything with it.
Yeah, not yet. I think we'll see more of it later on. And even Big Tank's rebuttal is okay, Mister. It's Disney running Marvel, and they don't always follow the canon. I'm gonna go bullshit on that.
I think Marvel's actually more in control of how they're doing
Yeah.
things than
So
Disney is.
so here's the rundown with the way so far I know it's working. Disney obviously signs the checks.
Hmm.
Everything is run by Kevin Feige. Simple as that. And he's had numerous arguments with the higher ups of Disney. That's not Marvel.
Hmm.
That's not the comics. That's not the way it goes. Trust me on this.
Right.
And they usually trust him on it. I mean, look at Iron Man, for crying out loud.
Okay, why did my picture just jump over?
I don't know. I'm fixing it now.
um,
It
so
didn't
do you
add
think
'em.
it's one of these where, okay, like you said, Disney signs the checks, but when the contract was signed for Disney to buy Marvel, maybe there was something in that contract that said Marvel is still in charge of Marvel stuff.
Yeah. So,
You just have overall go or no go say kind of thing.
right.
Maybe.
Now here's the thing, okay? And Big Tank also says they need to do more than 6 episodes. I agree. I
Hmm.
do. I agree.
Yeah, 6 episodes
However,
just isn't enough.
however, and this is where I've been saying everything's connected, and you're gonna see next episode everything will be connected, and it's gonna be insane when you see it because I already know what's gonna happen. Mostly because of all the clues that have been coming up, which we're gonna get into.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the weird thing about this episode.
Lots of clues.
Lots of clues, but just the timing and the speed of it all.
It's very
Because
quick.
with this episode, it was like they took 2 episodes and almost shoved them into one
Yep.
with how quickly shit came out
Yes.
within the. I mean, the episode ended, and I'm like,
That's it.
that was 40 minutes.
Yeah. And there's only
you
two
know,
episodes left.
and it was, and it was like, because that was stopping in the middle of it because Kay had to take the dogs out,
Right. So
but still, and it got done. It's like, whoa.
so from there though,
Hmm.
we find information about Kazi. Okay. We know this because they mentioned it in episode 3 about
That
Kazi
he
and
wo-
Sloan
that
Limited.
he works for Bishop Security.
Yep. No, not for Bishop Security. That they keep an eye on him and that he's got an involvement with Sloan Limited.
Oh,
Now,
okay. Gotcha.
that is the company that is laundering money for the Tracksuit Mafia, which Clint sends a message to his wife Laura to check in on this.
Hmm.
Run this guy's name, and it ties everything
Dun, dun,
together.
dun.
Uh, Western Echo says, "Have you heard? Mephisto is the bad guy. I mean, hi. Hey, he may show up. You never know.
You just ruined it for us all, Echo.
You never know. You never
You
know."
just ruined it for us all.
No, I
Anyway.
think I ruined episode 5 when I was talking to Western Echo about it over the weekend. So, but we'll get into it. I promise. We will get into it. So, obviously, we've got the Tracksuit Mafia and Sloan Limited money laundering going on. Duquesne is its CEO, and now it's also what was it? Clinton was also alerted to the Rolex from the Avengers compound was
Right.
stolen by the tracksuits, which is one of the things that we've been bringing up. We've been talking about the Rolex for a while now, and it's got a tracker on it. Who knew?
It's episode 1.
Who knew? Who knew there was a tracker on it? You know?
Right.
I mean, we kind of did.
You would think that was something that was supposedly that important
Yeah.
that it would have, some kind of a tracker on it, you would think.
Yes. Yes. So we fast forward, they return to the safe house, and that's when uh, Bishop and the dog are trying to come up with their next course of action. And Hawkeye's kind of helping her hone her skills, so to speak.
Which, in other words, he's sitting on his ass, not helping at all.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, he did a pretty good job with showing her how to target things and whatnot. I'll give him that much.
Well, the only thing that he helped her out with there in the apartment was making her realize that that wasn't a wide erase board
Yes.
that she was drawing on.
Yes. She was just drawing on a piece of. Yeah.
We haven't quite got to that part yet.
Yeah, no, we have not gotten to that.
We're close. We're close.
Well, no, we kind of did because they were planning the family party, the company party, and Kate was trying to tell Eleanor about Jack's secret, and then he came in, and they all started having fun, and the two of them were dancing around.
Yeah, he talked about them dancing. She's like, my mom doesn't dance. Oh, really?
Oh, really?
And that, I mean, that sounded worse than freaking Oscar the Grouch singing.
Yeah. And
I mean, that was bad.
It was. But at the same time, the other thing that you got to mention that I forgot to mention was as Eleanor was seeing Clint to the elevator, she basically told him to, leave Kate out of it and whatnot. And she tells him, keep my daughter safe. And he says, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yep.
I'm trying to do that. Yep. Because he knows. He knows what happens. He knows this is not the life for her, and that if she gets mixed up in it, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, he used to be the cause of it happening.
Yes. Yes. So we did mention that Laura is tracking down Kazi and his commitment to Sloan Limited and to Kane as its CEO and the money laundering and the Rolex being stolen. And I want to say hi to Chris on Facebook. Hello. Good to see you. We're talking about Hawkeye episode 4.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers big time. Spoilers big time. And we're now at the point where they're back at the safe house and both Clint and Kate are watching Christmas movies.
And drinking.
Watching Christmas movies and drinking. And
daiquiris and margaritas.
And if I remember correctly, I believe Clint was wrapped up in in ice and whatnot, or the margarita mix.
and that was the interesting thing because he had a conversation with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the phrases that caught my attention.
Yeah.
When they were talking was right towards the end.
And they were talking in code, by the way.
Yes, they're talking in code because the kids were sitting right there.
Yep.
But she made the comment, because he was talking about being sore and that kind of thing. And she made the comment that, you should really, you should sit down and relax and ice them if you need to.
Yes.
That phrase right there. Ice them if you need to.
Yep. Which tells you...
I was like, oh shit. She just gave him the okay to kill people.
Yep. If need be.
As well as telling him to ice down where it's sore.
If need be. Now, the other thing is with that, obviously, they were talking in code. We know they were talking in code. But that tells me that Laura has a lot more connections because of Clint than meets the eye.
She's not the clueless housewife.
No.
That they make her out to be. Because, I mean, I think way back to when the Avengers came there to the farm to hide,
Yes.
and I think about the way that she acted and everything, and to me, she wasn't quite the clueless housewife.
Yes.
She knew kind of what he was doing, but she didn't know a lot about what he was doing.
Yes.
Whereas that conversation in this episode told me that she knows everything.
Oh yeah. Well,
She knows everything.
the other thing with that is you also kind of have to go into the comics a little bit with her, mostly because yes, she is in the comics. If I remember correctly, I believe it was the Ultimate comic line that she was in, where they that's basically when they brought her in as another agent, you know. But she is in the original timeline as well. So that kind of helps, and it ties the comics a little bit more together too. Western Echo says the fact that Clint does what he does and still leaves her in charge of the family probably speaks volume. He probably knows she can handle herself. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, and that was the question that I kind of had in the back of my head with what comes up here further into the episode.
Yes.
Is, I mean, I'm sure he has probably taught her some forms of self-defense.
Oh, yeah.
And that kind of thing, not only because of what he does, but because of the fact that, he's not there. She needs to know how to protect herself and the kids and that kind of thing.
Right.
But I was kind of sitting here going, well, just how much does she know as far as that kind of stuff? How well can she fight, I guess, would be the way to put it there.
I think she can hold her own big time. I really do. Mostly because, one, she's married to Clint. Two, he's best friends with Natasha Romanoff. Do the math.
Mm-hmm.
Do the math. Put two and two together. And this is where things kind of make Clint even more human and not the superhero who wants to be out there all the time, because now Kate even asks about Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes to the conclusion that he is Ronan, which we know he is, and that during the blip, he lost his entire family, and that's when he became Ronan.
Right. Yeah. Big Tank just said that he says that Laura is a trained S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, but gave it up for love.
Absolutely, which is why they're off the grid. Yeah, they have technology, but they're off the grid. Nobody knows where they are. They're like ghosts. Which is also why Clint even mentioned that they were looking into the family.
See, Echo has a good point, too. It's been made clear that she knows Natasha just as well as she knows Clint.
Yes.
So either Natasha spent a lot of time with them, or she herself was part of the action at some point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we get down to the nitty gritty of Clint telling Kate exactly what he did.
Yeah, this is where the episode really picks up. I mean, it went from damn near a standstill.
Absolutely.
To, 117 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour zone.
Yeah. And he gets into the details of what happened with Black Widow as well, with Natasha Romanoff, how he was sent to kill her, and he didn't take the shot, but he saved her instead.
My mind.
Big Tank says, how could you all forget that the Ronin sword was taken back? We didn't. We were going to get into that.
We were just waiting to see if anybody else was going to mention it.
Yeah, no, we know. We know. Clint is a spy. He's going to get it
and
back.
Actually, it's this scene where we find out that he took the sword back.
Yes, it is, because he shows it. He shows the hilt. He got it back. Yep. Boom. He takes it out. Puts it down.
Knew he was going to do that.
So now the one thing that they're doing is when she mentions to Hawkeye that he can't do certain things. He flings a bottle cap and he turns the TV off after it ricochets off a few things while they're drinking and having a good time. But he shows Kate how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also gets to the point where after the fallout and of the snap and the blip and becoming Ronin, you kind of know that Clint told Laura what he did. He had to have. Because it looks like they don't keep secrets from each other at all. At all.
No, and in that kind of relationship, you really can't.
Yeah. And, Bishop kind of gets into that. Now we're into that awkward, oh, I didn't know type of feeling of the episode. And she goes to bed. Says goodnight. I'm sorry that everything happened to you this way. He turns off his hearing aid, or he pulls it out, and he goes to bed. But you also see flashbacks of him as Ronin.
Yep.
Yeah, you see him killing everybody and doing whatever you need to. But yes, this just makes it more human, more real. That yes, he did these things. He is absolutely going through PTSD. 100%. He's going through it.
Yeah. And basically it was him telling her, I'm not the good guy that you think I am.
Right. So he was being very honest.
Yeah, but he also, or she threw out, that was the past. You've changed and you're doing things the right way now.
But is he? Is he? That
kind
we know
of, sort of, maybe a little bit.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility.
kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit.
So now we get to the next day and there's no arrows. Clint has no arrows whatsoever. So they have to try and get all the arrows back. And the one way to do it is to go back to the NYC LARPers group.
Well, and the reason he has to do that is because his trackers on his arrows tell him that his arrows are in an evidence warehouse.
Yes.
Down by the river, which, gee, amazingly enough,
I know people
is where the LARPers practice.
Yeah. And so he sends Kate to go get the arrows.
I don't blame him. I would have done the same.
Well,
I'm done the same. I don't want to go back by them crazy.
The funny thing about this is we saw the reaction of Clint, and then we get to see Kate's reaction to the LARPers. So he sends her down to the NYPD, the NY City LARPers, and she's asking for people who are part of the NYPD, FDNY, so on and so forth, while he is going to confront Kazi about Maya Lopez. Now, for those that don't remember, Maya Lopez is Echo. She was in the last episode, and she pretty much wiped the floor with everybody, which is still amazing in and of itself. But that's what she does. She's also the quote-unquote niece to Uncle, who I'm pretty sure we're going to see next episode. Yup.
Let's keep your personal opinions out of it.
No, we'll do that at the end. So Kate gets to them. She's confronting the LARPers, and she's like, "Oh wow, you guys take this very seriously."
They were doing drills.
Yes, they were doing fighting drills. Yeah. And all of a sudden, your camera just disappeared. What the hell's happening? It's not you. Like your actual camera itself is there. It just disappeared. It's weird.
Nakai just says, "I have a lot of catching up to do."
You do.
But like I said before, you'll enjoy it, Nakai.
You will.
It will take you away for 40, 80, 120 pills for about an hour and a half.
You could probably binge it in a day.
Oh, easily.
Hands down, binge it in a day and you'll be good. So anyway, as they're training and as they're doing their thing with the LARPers, she pretty much makes a deal with all of them, saying, "Hey, listen, I need these arrows. Clint needs these arrows, and can you guys get it?" And she invites them all over and starts doing things. But we'll get into that in a minute. So as they're doing that, Clint says that to Kazi that he's really the only one that can talk to Maya, who she'll listen to, that she's way in over her head, and Ronan is gone, and that her vengeance for him is
She's chasing a
bad.
ghost.
Yeah, chasing a ghost, and it's going to get her killed.
My favorite line of that whole conversation. Well, personally, I think you're a doormat.
Yeah.
Personally, I think you're a doormat.
And I love that I love that Kazi went to go get one of the guns, one of the many guns stashed in the car, and Clint's just like, looking for this. Oh, what about this one? And then he,
or how about the box cutter under the seat?
Yep, the box cutter under the seat, and then he goes, as he's getting ready to get out, he goes, "Can I have my gun back?" He's like, "What do you think?" He gets out, walking away, and he throws it.
And he does it perfectly behind the truck.
Yes.
So that Kazi sees him do it.
Yep. In the rear view mirror.
The only thing that would have been better is if he would have had his keys and thrown those away too.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
That would have been freaking awesome.
That would have been so funny. It really would have. It would have been hysterical if that happened. Oh,
that would have been.
That's a great one. Why didn't they think of that? I don't know. They could have.
See, that's what happens when they don't have us in the planning process.
Right?
I mean, we could enhance these episodes a million times.
Yeah. We could come up with this, no problem.
And you know, I'll do it for a quarter pay. You know, I'm happy with that.
So from there, Barton goes back to the rendezvous at the apartment with Bishop, and lo and behold, there's people there.
Walks into a guy cooking frickin' snickerdoodles.
Oh, snickerdoodles. Gotta love snickerdoodles. So delicious. So delicious.
Yes, they are.
But Bishop agreed to provide the first responders with materials to engineer new costumes for them all, including for both Kate and Clint. And you can just see like the look on Clint's face of, oh shit, not this again.
It made me, it flashed me back to a comment to Gibbs on NCIS from way back when. This was when Kate was still working with NCIS. And they had found some dollar bills, and she had gone to her friend over in the FBI who could get her, you know, information on it and everything else, and ended up running into Fornell.
Yeah.
And they go back to the office, and Gibbs comes in, and then he sees Fornell, and he goes, "You seriously need to reconsider your definition of friends."
Yeah. Yeah. It's that close.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's that close.
Yeah.
Weston Echo, holy mother of fuck. NCIS reference. He's big on NCIS. You'll have to forgive him.
And Big Tank, Jesus, JT, you're talking seasons 1 and 2.
When
yes,
it was
I am.
good. So
no, it's still good, just not as good.
Mark Harmon's gone. It's going to go down the tubes. But anyway,
Abby's gone. Mark Harmon's gone. Tony's gone. Tony's not really that much of a loss, but yeah. Anyway,
we'll stick back to topic at hand. So while they're at the apartment, Barton receives a text from Laura saying the location of the Rolex is in an apartment close to them. The tracker is on, and they're able to track it down. And the reason they're able to is because the identity of the watch ties to somebody that Barton knows. So clearly, and again, I mentioned it in a couple episodes before this, that the theory could possibly be that it's the same Rolex that Tony was wearing during Civil War, to bring out the gauntlet on his hand for, for fighting Winter Soldier in Civil War. It's a huge possibility. Huge possibility. Or it could be tied to somebody else. We don't know. I doubt it would be tied to Natasha, just because if you look at the Rolex, the colors alone, I think it's more closely related to Tony than anything. But we'll see. Again, it's only a theory.
Well, yeah, because Tony, in the timeline, Tony is still out in the country, right?
Tony's dead. Endgame. Tony
Then
Stark.
why would he be worried about it tying back to him?
Because it's Avenger property. That's why.
Okay.
It's Avenger property.
Okay. I can
it's part of an Iron Man.
It makes it a little more plausible to me.
Yeah. And it's part of an Iron Man suit. You don't want that in the wrong hands, So
True.
That's when they decide that they're going to try and do what they do and get the Rolex back, and they're across the street, kind of below the apartment building that they're looking at, and they're scoping it out. No lights on and whatnot. There's security, and Barton's the one who's going to be like, "Listen, I'm going to be going in, and I'm gonna go get the Rolex. You're going to stay out here." And as he's talking, Kate disappears. She's gone.
Yeah.
And she's already down at the bottom of the ground, walking across the street.
At the bottom of the ground? You mean street level?
Yep, street level.
Yep.
Clip that.
And that's a good clip.
It is.
I had to laugh at how she just nonchalantly walks across the street, forcing all these cars to slam on the brakes and not run her over and everything. She's like, how you doing?
Yep, sorry. Being a New Yorker. Simple as that.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, they're, it's like... Yeah, Big Tank is right. He says Kate is like, F this, I'm talking. F this talking, I'm just going. So what she does is, as she's getting over to the door, she sees an old man push the button to get in, and she just says, "Let me help you with that."
Just so happens to have 2 bags of groceries.
Yes, and she's got her bow and arrows and whatnot, and grabs a bag and helps him in and gets into the elevator, and they're doing that awkward conversation thing. She really needs to work on that. She really does.
Personally, I think she was doing it on purpose because she knew she had to find a way to get him away from her.
Yes.
So, she's, I mean, the conversation, she said something to Clint, and he's like, "Excuse me," and then, all of a sudden she goes on, "To be totally honest with you, I'm talking to an Avenger. He's in my ear," and you saw the look on the guy's face go, "Oh shit, I need to get away from her."
And meanwhile, Clint's like, "Shut up, stop talking, shut up." But again, this also goes back to the screen chemistry between the two of them. Because it's amazing. The screen chemistry between the two of them are awesome. I mean, it really is. So she finally gets to the apartment and she picks the lock just like Clint showed her how to do, and trips some type of an alarm, and she uses some of the trick arrows to hit the cameras, goo them up, and be able to walk about. But it was a silent alarm. There were lights flashing and everything else like that. And
strobes.
And before they could do anything, because it was a silent alarm, now is where the fun begins. Because she does find the Rolex. And while she finds the Rolex, she also finds a notebook with the names of Laura and the kids.
Yep.
So they were able to find that, and she takes the page. She takes the notebook.
This was one time where it was good that she's a little bit nosier than normal.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise, she would have grabbed the watch and gone
Right.
and would not have seen that paper because it was shoved out to the side in a little cubby.
Right. And all of a sudden, with Clint talking to her and she's saying, they found your family, he's getting attacked.
Yep.
He's getting attacked.
All he hears is, oof, oof, oof.
And as he's fighting, he also tells her to get out of the building. That was a silent alarm. Maya is here. And
You're
Maya
in Maya's apartment.
is attacking Kate at the same time.
She turns around. What?
No, Maya's here.
Yeah. And if I caught him right, she was in Maya's apartment.
Yes. She was in Maya's apartment because those flashing strobes was a silent alarm that somebody broke in, and Maya's deaf.
Exactly.
So that's to let her know that somebody's in the apartment. Now,
did you catch the flashing red light as she was coming in the door? Did you catch the flashing red light up in the corner?
The back corner, yep. That was the motion sensor. So she broke in, and the motion sensor went off, and the lights started to strobe, and she took the lights out. But those lights also have cameras on them. So, yeah, she can see what's going on, too.
It's that wonderful ring alarm system.
So the two of them are fighting people. She's fighting Maya. He's fighting somebody else, where it gets to the point where, what do you mean Maya's in there? And the two of them are bickering at each other while they're fighting.
While fighting. That was good.
And then we find out that Barton is attacked by a Black Widow assassin.
Yeah. Well, the neat part was she asked for him to get her out of there.
Yes.
Or to give her an escape.
Yes.
And, as per the conversation on the rooftop.
Yep.
Before she left, it's, you need to have a better escape route planned. That's more important than how you're going to get in.
Right.
And then they did the classic halfway down the zip line and
she gets stuck.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
When that happened, I busted out laughing. I was like,
whoopsie.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. I love that they did that because it pulls, even with all the superhero, supervillain fighting action that's going on, all of a sudden they go, hey guys, remember, they're just human.
Yes. And especially in this case, they're human. They're human.
Yes.
Yes, Hawkeye does have the ability to pretty much hit anything that he eyes.
But he doesn't have superhuman powers.
Right. No, he doesn't.
He's just a regular guy who's really good with a frickin' bow and arrow.
Oh, yeah. Among other things. Other things. So as they escape through the zip line, she gets stuck, but at the same time, she also gets to the point where she's able to get to the roof, and Maya is going after her as well.
All of a sudden, she's there.
So Western Echo, we're getting there. We're getting there. So as they're fighting, obviously things are being said. They're going back and forth. Maya's in the way. The Black Widow assassin's in the way.
And
Clint and Kate are
going
back and forth. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Clint. I think he actually says something along the lines the person that was attacking him. Who is this?
Yeah, who is this? And then he gets hit with a stinger.
Knows how to fight this well.
Yeah,
And
then he gets hit by a stinger. Oh. And you see the gauntlets that she's wearing, and it's red. Mm-hmm. And this, and like Western Echo says in the chat room, not just a Black Widow assassin, Yelena. Yes, Yelena Belova. And if you haven't watched the Black Widow movie, you need to watch it. And
thank God I watched it 2 weeks ago.
Yes, well, I did warn you. I did warn you to watch it. So, there's a lot of ties. Again, everything's connected, Yep. If you didn't watch Captain America, Falcon and Winter Soldier, you need to get on that because there's a lot of scenes that are connected to Black Widow, and from Black Widow, there's a lot of scenes now connected with Hawkeye. So there's a lot of connections going on there.
I mean,
Wait.
when he ripped her face mask, the ski mask off,
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yep.
I know that face. Where do I know that face?
Yep. That was
And it took a
Florence
second, and then
Poe.
all of a sudden, I couldn't think of her name, but all of
Yelena
a sudden it pops in my
Belova.
head. Black Widow's sister.
Yep. That
I
was
was like,
her
son of a
sister.
bitch.
That was her sister. So the other thing with that is, did you notice as she was fighting, and I'm wondering if Western Echo noticed this too, she did Black Widow's pose.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She did Black Widow's pose. She landed and she was in the pose.
That she makes fun of her for using.
Yes. 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 As Western Echo says, all Elaine Bennis's fault. By the way, yes, but we'll get into that later. We've already mentioned
Maybe.
that she was not a good but bad person, but good person, but we'll see what happens. So they get to the point where during the fight, she throws Bishop off the roof, forcing Barton to break her fall with his grapple in a matter of basically just like what happened with Scarlett Johansson's character of Natasha Romanoff in Endgame, where instead of having her fall to her death, he basically lowered her down to the ground, saving her. And you know, obviously she ran up to see what was going on, and she's gone. And Barton flat out tells her, "We're done. We're done. You don't understand how dangerous this just became. There's somebody hired a Black Widow assassin to take us out." So,
Gee, wonder who that might be.
I don't know. But after Yelena sees that her mask is off and everything, she flees. She runs for cover, and Barton tells Bishop, "We're done. You got to stop. It's getting too dangerous. Go home. Go home." And that is when the episode ends. So a lot went on, a lot was revealed, and a lot was tied together.
Yeah. It was a very interesting episode.
Yeah, very, very interesting episode, to say the least. Let's see. I'm just pulling up my other stuff here, because there's obviously Easter eggs. We know there's Easter eggs.
I'm so tired of eggs.
One of those is, I know I mentioned it once before. Kate Bishop's aunt is Moira Brandon, where, yes, they're using her apartment, so they keep going back and forth, but that's a name for West Coast Avengers. Very related to that. Hawkeye was part of it. Moira was part of it. So there was a lot going on with that. Very low-key stuff, though. Very, very low-key stuff. Moira was also part of Creature of the Dark Galaxy. They also had a Chance of Love storyline. So you can spot a lot of different things going on with pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that they're continuing with the Thanos was right theme. You saw it in the bathroom on Broadway with the with Rogers the musical, but she also owns a Thanos was right mug, and Clint is using that as his mug to drink out of.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's not the first time you saw it. Every single time he's drinking a coffee or something from that, he's using that mug. That's the mug he was using. So in a lot of ways, you could tell where Hawkeye's mind is when it comes to Thanos. Was he right? Yeah, a lot of people will say that. A lot of people will say that. Was he right with how things were chosen? Probably not. But it is what it is. The
Pretty much.
backstory for him and Natasha, I love that they brought it in.
That was interesting. That blew my mind. I mean, that
it
was
did?
when I first messaged you tonight, and I says, "Wait, Hawkeye was supposed to kill Natasha?
Yeah.
Really?"
Okay. All right.
Now,
Yeah.
obviously, my interest in the episode, although it was already high,
Yes.
but when he said that, my interest went. Woof.
Okay. So another thing that we got to mention is the watch, the Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the lot number of the Rolex is
What was
268.
it?
We've seen
Okay.
it before, and it's from the Avengers compound. We have theories going on that it could be tied to Tony Stark, or
Didn't we see 268 in Loki also?
yes, we did see the number 268 in Loki. And this is where things kind of mesh and you can create your own theories because 268 is an Avengers comic book.
Hmm?
Not just any comic book though.
Yeah, what goes on in this comic book?
Kang the Conqueror, which we have mentioned numerous times
Mm-hmm.
with Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantum Mania coming out. We also had him in Loki as the one who remains, and how he, when he died, he said, "I'll see you soon, but you're probably not going to like me."
I already don't like you, so.
Uh, the word bombshell refers back to Hawkeye number 3 back in 1983, where Wendy Conrad is a minor villain that, popped up.
Western Echo says 268. The number of times fans have theorized that the villain in the next episode will be Mephisto. And what did he say just before that? Episode 5 spoiler: Mephisto.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You had Kate's cool shirt, where artist David Aja designed the shirt based on the tragically ironic but pioneering space doggo. Put it on Kate in the comics and now in the big screen for the show. And then it says one of the things about the trick arrows was the boomerang arrows.
I love that.
I love that they finally talked about the boomerang arrows.
Well, you'd have to dodge.
You'd have to dodge and you'd have to catch it. So I like that they did that with that. The coin trick, obviously, that was a big one, and it was a really good teaching moment and a way to make the two of them get together a little bit more and be closer to each other, not just
Bond.
as a partner, but more of a mentor and a protege. So that was really cool seeing that coin trick. So let's do this before I give my theory. Let's do this. JT, how many arrows do you give this episode?
Actually, I want you to give yours first this week.
Oh, you want? Okay, I'm actually going to give this episode 4. Not at 4.5 yet. I'm at 4, and the reason being is, I didn't. It wasn't one of those episodes that I could kind of see clearly, like this is gonna happen, but it's one of those episodes where I kind of knew who was gonna be in it, who was gonna show up. It's just a matter of when and how. So I did know that Yelena Belova was gonna be showing up eventually. But how and when, that was the one that was kind of screwing with me a little bit. Only because there's only 6 episodes. And there's more that needs to be done. And you need to kind of fill in the gaps and take care of how certain other people are going to come in.
Right.
So I'm giving it a 4. And as for Western Echo saying 268 arrows and then 268 times that Sully misspoke, there's a lot more than 268.
Yeah, there's
just
like
putting it
about
out there.
12 zeros behind that.
Yeah, pretty much.
It worries me that you and I are on almost the same rankings of each episode. But
Okay.
the neat thing is that we're on the same ratings for different reasons.
Yes, absolutely we are.
You know?
It's kind of creepy.
For me, and that's why I say that, this episode actually managed to push itself up to a 4.
Wow.
It managed to push itself up to a 4. It started out not going that way.
Until
Until they were at the hideout, the apartment, whatever you want to call it, and they were talking, and Clint started revealing things that, for me, were mind-blowing.
It's certainly more humanizing.
Yes, for sure. You know, and it's just the way that they did things in this episode, the things that they revealed this episode. When I read the description for the episode, you know, the first line was, secrets are revealed.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, here we go. You know, and then it started out slow again. And I'm like, come on.
Bring it on.
But the fight scenes were great. The one issue that I had, this was almost a 4.5 episode, but the one issue that I had that knocked it back down to a 4 was Kate's fighting experience going up against Maya's fighting experience and Yelena's fighting experience. Kate would have gotten her ass kicked 10 times more than she did.
So,
especially in the apartment.
Yeah. So I'm kind of glad you mentioned that. Because yes, Yelena's fighting ability is 10 times better than all 3 of them combined. She's a Black Widow.
Right.
She has to be. Now, with that being said, Maya against Kate, that's a perfect matchup. And the reason it's a perfect matchup is because both Maya and Kate have similar backgrounds of training at a young age and moving up the line and doing what they need to do. So they do have the martial arts capabilities.
I forgot that she was a high-level black belt.
Yeah, they're both even. Now, if it came down to the 2 of them against Yelena, Yelena's going to wipe the floor with the 2 of them. Clearly.
But that was really the only issue that I had with the episode, but it was a big enough issue for me
to kind of keep it
bring
down
it
a little
from
bit.
a 4.5 down to a 4.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. Overall.
Yeah, overall, it was a great episode. I enjoyed it. You know, we got to the end of the episode, and I'm like, wait, that's it?
Yeah.
You know, this was the first episode in the series that 40 minutes felt like 25.
Right?
You know,
because it just kept going.
That was really cool. That helped to push it up to that's what pushed it up to a 4.5, and then it got knocked back down by the issues with the fight scene. One of my favorite parts was, I mean, it was a very deep part, but at the same time, it was funny. Was when Kate got thrown over the side, and Clint cut the rope.
Yep. And said, "Go home."
I was like,
"Get out of here."
That's fucked up, but that's funny.
Get out of here.
Yeah, go home.
Go home.
So that's where I'm at with that. So 4 overall.
Yeah. Now, before we end the show, I have a theory. And Western Echo knows this theory. Because I was literally talking to him about it over the weekend. I'm like, dude, did you watch the episode? He goes, yeah, I did. And I started going, I'm like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And here's what's going to happen, folks. I'm calling it now. Calling it now. It's not a Mephisto theory.
Get off of Mephisto,
But it's
dude.
funny. I love his Mephisto theory jokes. I really do. So here's my theory.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to see Uncle next week. Now, and the reason I say that, Western Echo knows who Uncle is. I know who Uncle is. Big Tank may know who Uncle is, but might need a little bit of a memory jogger. In the episode, what was it? Episode 2? I think it was 2, where they mentioned Uncle, and all you saw was a pair of shoes and pants walking.
Wait.
That was Uncle.
Wait.
Did you just look it up?
Mm-hmm.
JT just looked it up. Do you now know who Uncle is?
If this is correct, then yeah.
Which
we'll be swinging.
Oh, I guarantee you. It's going to be... You're probably not going to see Uncle until the end of the episode, mind you. That's my theory. That's my guess. Is they're going to leave the best for last, and we're going to see not only the best for last, but with swordsman at the same time, because Uncle, for those that are wondering, is none other than the kingpin of crime himself, Wilson Fisk, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, who played the kingpin in the Daredevil Netflix series, which then brings the entire Netflix series of shows full circle and back into the MCU.
See, now that was not what this said. Because this was saying that Uncle is Uncle Ben.
No.
Okay.
No. Uncle Ben is Uncle Ben, don't get me wrong. But
right.
If they do it right, okay? They bring in the kingpin of crime into the MCU again with Vincent D'Onofrio, who is playing him, by the way. Very low key on it, but he is playing him again. That's number one. Matthew Cox is playing... Charlie Cox is playing Matt Murdock. Wow, there's a good clip for you. Who played Daredevil in the Daredevil series and is supposedly in Spider-Man No Way Home. So there's a good tie-in also, which therefore may or may not bring one other bad guy into Spider-Man No Way Home, which is a possibility as well of having the Kingpin, but I doubt it because he was never actually part of the Sinister Six, which then includes one more bad guy that we need, and it could be either Vulture, Scorpion, or Venom. Or even... Okay, so... even what's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal. I can't believe I can't remember the damn character's name. But it's a theory. Okay. But I guarantee you we'll see Vincent D'Onofrio next episode. I guarantee it.
Let me throw a kink in your theory.
Okay.
Coming from the outside.
Oh, okay.
Do you not think... Okay, I would agree that I think we're going to see Swordsman as Swordsman in next episode because it's got to happen soon. And I think we're at the point where he's going to have to reveal himself.
Yes.
And I would say that's going to happen within the first half of the episode to give time for Mama's reaction and all that good crap.
Yep.
But do you not think that, and Big Tank, I was going to say Mysterio too, but I didn't want to.
Thank you, Mysterio.
I felt like if I said it, I was going to be looking like an even bigger dummy than I am.
Nope.
But I actually would have been right. That's scary. I think I agree with your uncle theory.
It's a good theory.
However,
Oh.
I don't think they would do the reveal of Swordsman and Uncle coming in the same episode. I think the better way to leave the entire series as a cliffhanger
Ooh, that would be
is
good.
because that, even though I'm not really, I know who Uncle is now, but I really don't.
Yeah.
That would be one hell of a way to leave an episode to make people come back for season 2 of Hawkeye. So I think they're not going to reveal Uncle until the end of episode 6.
That is a good theory, my friend.
Holy shit, the redneck came out of nowhere with that one.
Very good theory. It's a very good theory.
So it still goes with your theory, but it throws the linchpin of why would they do 2 major reveals like that in one episode when they have not done it in any of the episodes in the entire MCU thing where they didn't do it in Wanda, they didn't do it in Falcon and Winter Soldier, they didn't do it in Loki. Why
Well,
would they do it now?
why not? Because they've never done it.
It's not their track record.
It may not be their track record. And actually, no, they did reveal Agatha in WandaVision.
But it wasn't 2 major character reveals in one episode.
True. Well,
That's the thing I'm hanging on.
yeah, that is true because
It's 2 major
Agatha
character
was
reveals
the
at one
neighbor.
time. Right.
Agatha was the neighbor, and then of course you had Quicksilver, who wasn't really Quicksilver but is Quicksilver. And
Yeah.
whatever.
But my big thing is the 2 major characters in one episode. I can't see them doing that. And from taking what you said and what everybody else has said as we've been going along, the revelation of Uncle being involved in this is going to be the biggest revelation in the series at this point. So why would they not leave it on that as a cliffhanger?
it's true. It's a good
Just
it's a good thought. That's for sure.
Echo, and this surprise, just the first line. Echo says JT does have a point. Holy crap! Did Echo say that?
He did.
He says Disney does have a consistent track record of utterly anticlimactic non-reveals and failed opportunities for wow moments. Yeah, that's another way of putting it.
Yeah.
I just think that it. I really, unless there's something major that's going to happen outside of it, I can't see them bringing Swordsman and Uncle in episode 5 because then what are you going to leave as the cliffhanger on episode 6?
But think of it this way: they already technically brought Swordsman in. We've seen him.
They have, but they haven't.
Right. I mean, we've seen him. We've seen him
not in a way that is going to tell me.
Yeah.
As an outsider, that's who this person is, and he is supposed to be a major character.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do in episode 5.
I think it'd be interesting.
It will be.
I think it would be interesting.
So
it's gonna be very interesting to say the least. Now,
what would you give the overall series as a rating at this point?
So overall, right now, I'm at a 4. Okay. I really think this is one of the better series, mostly for the fact that it's not doing a lot of the political bullshit that happened in a couple of the other episodes. Obviously, with Falcon and Winter Soldier, you have to have that political BS in there because it's part of that. It is.
Right. And ultimately, I would rank Falcon and Winter Soldier as the best series to this point.
Right. And you have. I personally believe that even though the first couple of episodes we ranked the episodes low, that this is the most well-written and well-paced series so far. And that's
I think they
nothing
did it on
against
purpose.
Loki, because Loki was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was. It was.
You know, I really think that this so far this is the best one that we've been watching. I really do.
See, Echo says just slightly less than WandaVision and Loki, but way more than Falcon and Winter Soldier. So he's on the opposite end of the scale on, with me at least, on that one, because I think Falcon and Winter Soldier has been the best one. At this point, I would put Hawkeye, Loki, and then WandaVision.
Okay. All right. All right.
But as far as an overall for this one, honestly, I would really only be at a 3, maybe 3.25.
Okay. All right. I get you.
And that's faulted to the first 2 episodes and how slow they were. So,
but it worked.
But it works. It works. It definitely works. I like like you said, the way they've written it is good.
Yes.
To me, like I said, they've had some pacing issues, but with the way that they've written it, instead of like in Falcon and Winter Soldier, just coming out the gate, full action and maintaining that throughout.
Yes.
They're doing the classic way that you write a song. You start out slow, you build up.
Yeah.
To your climactic point, which is either your bridge or your chorus. So I think it's different the way they're doing this, but at the same time, I like it.
I like it a lot.
Overall.
I really do.
So,
all right. Well, with that being said, we do have to end the show here. Obviously, we're having a ball, so yay for that. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. We are going to do a raid on Twitch very shortly. The next episode, which is episode 5, comes out on Wednesday. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night for the Sully Show at 8 p.m. Eastern. And next week...
we'll let you know about next week tomorrow.
Yes. Next week, we're kind of up in the air at the moment, only because I have a Christmas party on Monday, which happens at the same time. And we have the new episode. So we may do the show on Sunday. It's up in the air still. It's not 100% positive just yet, but we may do that. If we do, obviously, keep an eye on Facebook. Keep an eye on Twitter. We'll post it. We will let everybody know if we're going to do it. If we can't do it on Sunday or Monday, then we may do a longer one that will include episodes 5 and 6 after Christmas. We may. So it really all depends on timing. Obviously, we know that it's that time of year. It's busy. We've got things going on. It's there. We know it's there. So make sure you keep it locked in and tune in and all that other good stuff, okay? So make sure, because otherwise it's going to be crazy. But the Sully Show will be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on Accidental Punch TV. So for all those watching on YouTube and DLive and Facebook and Twitch, thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week for Avenger Pretenders. Hopefully. Otherwise, we'll do a longer show. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. All right.
And just to leave it on a note for people to go, what? I just saw this on Facebook. Found out Grandpa is addicted to Viagra. No one is taking it harder than Grandma.
All right. We're out of here, folks. Goodbye. All right, let's do it.
That's how you end a show.
That's how you end a show, folks. That's right. JT knows how to end a show. He really does.
If it's not a screw you, it's a, what did he say?
What? What you talking about, Willis? What you be talking about? All right.
So did he really just say that? Yes, he did.
Let's see who is on today. Let's take a look and see what we got. Let's see.
Come here, little one. Oh.
We got a couple people on today.
Hi.
Let's see here.
Say hi to everybody. Say hi.
We are going to raid Retro Mystic TV. Retro Mystic TV followed us last week, 5 days ago, actually. So that was really cool. So we're going to give that wonderful channel a raid. I believe she's playing Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia. If you like ghost hunting, this is definitely the game for you guys, because you basically play a ghost hunter that's getting stalked by evil demons, which is really cool. So Retro Mystic _TV. When you go into the chat room, make sure you use the Accidental Punch logos as well as Punchers Unite. And we will see you guys tomorrow for the Sully Show, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk to you later.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye, guys. See you later. Because we can, and we will, and it's going to be fun. Bye!